Hi ACVN, this is Sarah Jackson, video number 5, feeding plans. Hi Matthew.
Hi Sarah. Can I please get you to feed George, the 2-year-old Dachshund, Royal Canin gastrointestinal low-fat adult wet food? Can I also ask you to get the nutritional requirements for 3 meals today, please?
Yes, I can. Just to make sure I've got that correct, you want me to feed him the Royal Canin gastrointestinal low-fat food adult, and you want me to work out his nutritional requirements, maybe based over 3 meals today.
Correct, yes please.
Correct.
Sarah Jackson, I've just been instructed to feed George Jackson. I'm just identifying the patient using the signalment and the charts and looking at him. So just looking at his cage card, this is George Jackson, 2-year-old Dachshund, and he's in for diarrhea and sickness, and I can see that he is a Dachshund. I can see that he's about 2 years old. He's not looking too old, and he is a Dachshund for sure. And again, this qualifies this on his chart as well. So we have the right patient. I'm going to take this now to the bench. We have George's chart here on the bench. Also, just to show you, the ME rate for the Royal Canin gastrointestinal low fat is the ME rate of 940 per kcals per kilogram. So now I'm going to work that out. I'm just going to write down his, can you see? ME rate is 940 kcal per kg. And if I divide that by 1,000, just to get the rate per gram, so 940 divided by 1,000 equals, that's 0.94 per gram. And that's, okay, so the RER, we know, is 70 times the body weight, which is 7.2 kilograms, which is from his chart. So if we do that, and it's 0.75. First, we're going to do this element of the equation. So 7.2 kilograms, 0.75 equals 7.2. I press this XY button, and it gives me 0.75 equals 4.39, which I'm going to call 4.4. Okay, so that's what we use. Then 4.4 times 70, 308. So that's 308 kcals as his RER, his resting energy rate. His DER, I'm going to work out, I know that he's a male neutered adult, so I'm going to use the 1.6 rate. So 1.6 times 308. So 308 is already on the calculator, times 1.6 equals 492.8, rounded up, equals 493 kcals per day. So then to work out his volume to feed, we have to divide his 493 calories divided by 0.94. So 493 divided by 0.94 equals 524 point, let's call it 5, or 525 grams to feed. So that's kcal.
Sarah Jackson, video number 5, and we've just worked out it's 525 grams to feed for the whole day, but we've got to divide it by, say, 3 meals and chart it, and that comes to 175 grams. Vet Matthew, would you mind just checking the calculation?
Correct.
And you look here, kcals look right, everything looks, yep.
Everything correct?
175 grams per feed, so that looks very good.
Yeah. Thank you. Sarah Jackson, video number 5. So to maintain freshness and to prevent contamination, George's food is kept in a separate cupboard, a dry cupboard, stored when it's canned, and then to maintain freshness once it's opened, it will be placed on this shelf separate from any other pet foods. And just to show, in terms of contamination, everything is spotlessly clean. The bowls, the cutlery, the chopping board, everything has been disinfected and cleaned, ready to go.
So now I'm going to weigh George's plate just to check how much that weighs by itself. And that's showing me, let's try again, that's 286. I'm going to write that down. So 286 plus the 175, that's 11, 8, 7, 15, 16, 2, that's 461 we've got to get to. This was opened for an earlier tape, but I'm now opening it fresh. I have gloves, so we're getting close. Not going to take any of that. $440, $454, so just a tiny bit extra. $470, that's too much. $466, $462. That's it. We'll have to sell at $462 for today. We can take a gram off of his next feed and we can write that on the chart. So I'm just going to put that in to his. I'm just going to bring this over to George. Georgie! And obviously I would be opening up a cage here. Come on, darling. Good boy. Sarah Jackson video number 5. So now I'm just going to observe what George has consumed. So if you pan down to there, you can see in the bowl, he's licked that completely clean. That's gone down very well. That's 100%. Just to show, that's George Jackson. I've got the correct patient. So I'm going to just write on here on the chart, raw cannon, wet gastrointestinal low fat, and he was offered 176 in grams, and he's eaten, you can see very small here, very small column, 100%. And just on this chart, we just need to give him 1 gram less on the next feed. So that's 174 grams on the next feed. And that's in grams.
Just to show, I've also added to the chart, you can see here I've added 100 mils that George has been offered in terms of water, and I will write in the comments how much he actually consumes. Then I've also added that 174 grams for the 1 p.m. and 175 for the 5 o'clock. I've also written it at 1 p.m. please weigh him, and please feed 174 grams at 1 p.m. and 175 in case this is not clear at 5 p.m. And just to show you what I do to maintain freshness is I put the date on a glove and then put that into the fridge. Stored on there. So Jackson, final points for video 5, just to say that George Jackson is a canine, therefore he is an omnivore. That is his consumption classification, omnivore. Second to that, 2 hazardous pathogens that we have to be aware of with food preparation and food storage and food waste is Giardia and E. coli, also Salmonella. And the way that we ensure that doesn't cross-contaminate with our patients and ourselves is we have, which I've just thrown away, good hand hygiene, washing our hands, wearing gloves when we're preparing food. In terms of storage, storing it in a dry cupboard and a place that, or in a bin that rodents can't get to, making sure that it's stored with a airtight seal in a fridge with a date marked on it, making sure everything is disinfected from the scales to the cutlery to the sink. And on top of that, with waste, making sure waste is done properly in clean bags and taken straight out into the general waste. Ends.